Cool, it's Mike from the Mike James Rock Show. We're at Reading 2016. Frank Turner's joined us at the table. How's it going, man?
Good. I'm sort of done for the day, which
You
is
were
quite
on
nice.
nice and early, weren't you?
I was. Yeah, they asked us to be the sort of special guest openers for the
Congratulations, though. 10 years in a row you've played this festival.
Yes, indeed. Which has been quite something. And it's funny, there are times and there are reasons why occasionally I'm sceptical about. Oh, we're in Reading again. Is this the right move? This kind of thing. And then the minute I came out on stage today, it was like
that crowd was insane for you, man. Like 11:30 in the morning, it was like just a wave of people all the way back.
Well, it was just that's the thing. Yeah, I hit the stage and remembered that this is my musical home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it felt really good.
Is there any years that you've obviously done 10 years in a row? Which one really stands out for you?
I mean, there's a few.
Yeah.
2013, we played the main stage and the headline Lockup. And that
Sweet,
was, and the Lockup stage bit was the best bit, simply because Mike Davies over there, who as it still was at the time, Mike helped me out endlessly when I started out. He was a huge cheerleader for what I do, so it was really nice to see that. In 2010, I think 2010, I ended up playing guitar for NoFX for a bit as well.
No way.
Which was like a dream. I mean, and now after that, we've ended up becoming quite good friends.
That's cool, though, man.
But like at the time, it was funny. They needed someone to play guitar on a couple of songs, and I was suggested, and they didn't know who I was, but Mike explained it, Mike Davies. And Fat Mike said to me, he's like, "Do you know this song?" And I kind of went, "I know all the songs." But
proper fanboy English a bit.
One of my favourite bands.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was a good deal as well.
You played in our hometown earlier this year of Exeter at the Cavern's 25th anniversary, man.
Yeah.
So you're quite adverse to like playing small, tiny, little, almost toilets kind of circuit, and then doing huge stadiums like this.
Yeah.
It's like, is that something you feel you need to do as an artist, is to come back to your roots sometimes and play those small little
I think
circuits?
need isn't quite the right word. Want
Okay.
would be a better
Even
one.
better, man.
I mean, the bottom line is that I just like playing.
Yeah.
And where I play is less important than the fact that I'm playing for
That's
me.
cool, right?
Do you know what I mean? But I mean, it's so much fun to do stuff. The Cavern thing, Million Dead played the Cavern a million times. I've played there loads, and Pippo just got in touch and said, "Do you want to do the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds excellent."
Yeah.
So it's lovely to be able to do that kind of thing. And the thing is, every band can do that kind of thing. You just have to not be precious. And I try quite hard not to be precious.
And so, sometimes, like here, you're a million miles away from the crowd. Like somewhere like the Cavern, you're nose to nose, and you're covered in their sweat and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think they're usually covered in mine rather more.
You do get quite lively on stage.
I
though,
do.
right?
I spit quite a lot when I sing.
That's what you want. It's that whole kind of punk attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
DIY,
it's I can't help it, unfortunately. People in front rows have been known to complain.
Part of going to a gig.
Well,
isn't it? I remember coming out of a gig covered in blood and all sorts. It's like you've had a good gig then.
Right, you know what? I still have a T-shirt covered in Rob Flynn from Machine Head's blood somewhere.
Nice.
Because he bled on me at a gig once.
Where was that?
Southampton Guildhall.
Oh, cool, man.
In 1997 or something. Yeah.
It's just as they were starting to like really build it up.
Yeah.
Like that's our grounding. It's like the heavier rock and metal side of things. So like, let's do that with Rob Flynn. That's like, for me, that's like Rob Flynn. Woo.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the next 6 months got in store for you, man?
Well, so we're announcing a new UK tour on Monday.
Okay.
So we got another month of shows in the UK in November and December.
All sorts of different size venues, or is it
it's sort of similar size venues, but we're trying to. What I generally do with my UK tours is we'll do one where we do Manchester, Glasgow, Birmingham, London.
The main,
and then the next time around we do other places. So this time we're doing. We're doing Exeter again. I know that, but like we're doing Aberdeen and we're doing Cardiff and we're doing like Bexhill and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like just trying to get some new places, some different places.
Do you find that the audiences are a little bit more responsive when you go to these places that don't necessarily have gigs on all the time of artists of your ilk?
Yeah, they can be, and like people from the bigger cities generally then learn what it's like to have to travel for shows, which as somebody who grew up in Winchester, I'm quite keen on teaching them a lesson. But yeah, it's just kind of, I think that it's a trick, if you want to call it a trick, that I learned off the Levellers. Because the Levellers, because I was one of my favourite bands, and they took me out on tour on Early Doors, and they said to me, the reason we've still got a live career 25 years later is that we didn't just play Birmingham, Manchester, and London. We made time to go to Coventry and to Leeds and wherever else. So it's kind of cool to do that. It's in my interests as well, should we say.
Because you also fit into various styles of festivals as well. Like you're at Reading today, which is a multi-genre festival, and you've been to a place like Download and things like that. So
yeah, one year actually we did Download and the Cambridge Folk Festival in the same year, which I was quite pleased with.
But that's
I thought it was kind of
never
cool.
associate but like a band doing both those kind of festivals, but you kind of bridge that gap. You've already mentioned, you know, the Rob Flynn thing from Machine Head. Do you find that playing these different festivals gives you a wider audience as well?
Yeah, well, I think that's a chicken and egg situation. It might be that I can play those different festivals because I have a wider audience. But the one thing I would say is that something I'm really proud of is the diversity of the audience that I have. You know, like, I mean, when I was in Million Dead, my old band, I love that band, but like we essentially played to 16 to 24-year-old skinny, angry hipster punks. And the thing is that that's what we were too, so I'm not pointing fingers by saying that, but our demographic was incredibly narrow, and it's a source of great comfort, pleasure and pride to me. Now, like the other day somebody came up and they were sort of, oh, I know it's a bit lame, but my dad's come with me. And I'm like, why is that lame? That's amazing.
Bridging, yeah, like
how
generations.
cool is that, you know? And you get people, you know, Willie Nelson fans and like Crass fans at the same gig. That's all right.
It's crazy. And like today, there were kids on the front of that barrier that will be there all day, but they were there and saw you live. Yeah. They might be there waiting for their favourite band at 10 o'clock tonight and might not move, but they've been introduced to you again.
I do quite enjoy messing with those people. I went and got in the crowd at the end, and it's always fun, sort of, because there's those kids, they're there for the headliner or whatever, and they're trying to look studiously bored because some people have this mad idea that it's a zero-sum game being into bands, and if you're into with the support band and the headliners don't get enough love, or sometimes
the support bands blow the headliners away. We were at a festival 2 weekends ago, and the support band just completely blew away the headliners.
Can be done.
Yeah,
I mean, almost we've just been out with Fucking Molly in the States for a month, and they're good friends of ours, but it's like there's a friendly competition between us because they're a really good live band.
Yeah.
And every night it's just like, I'm like, you know, going to their dressing room just before we go on, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna show you. And then
that's how we do it.
And I come off and they're like, ooh, okay, all right, and then they up their game. That's how it should be.
But that's a good way of working, though, man, because everyone is trying to better themselves.
Right, but also underneath it all is a sense of community. One of the things I hate most in the world is the people and the tendency that a lot of people have to again, like I say, to treat music and the music industry as a zero-sum game. As far as I'm concerned, if another band does well, everybody wins.
Exactly, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I want, if somebody's honest and making music they care about and they've got an audience who are into it, I wish them well.
Because as soon as you move up a tier, there's someone to fill in your spot, and then there's someone from a local circuit, they'll fill into their sort of.
The music industry would be a better place if people took care of each other.
Community, not competition. We've been using that hashtag all year long, and people have been buying into it.
Fully behind it.
Great. Yeah. So there you go, man. You heard it. Community, not competition on the hashtag. Frank's been an absolute honour chatting to you, man. Hopefully we'll do it again. Thanks very much.